Alright guys, I'm going to review MULN today. It was a pretty crazy runner. I didn't personally trade it. I've been learning options, but I still know what I'm doing. And this stock ended up going from, let's see, $1 up to $1.95. That's pretty good gains. Pretty good gains. So let's look at the open here. I kind of went through already, charted out some stuff. So what do we notice first at the open? This first candle, a lot of volume, 4.3 million volume. And this green line right here is our VWAP line. Let me make that a little bigger. How do I do that? This green line right here is our VWAP. And my last video I said you should basically all the time take the breakthrough VWAP. This had a crazy amount of volume, broke through VWAP. Probably would have tried to get your entry around $1, $2, $3, and you could have rode that up without stopping out, up about 9-10% if you got a good exit. So that would have been my first trade, break above VWAP. Probably wouldn't have touched it in here. You probably would have wanted to. A lot of people probably try this bounce of VWAP because this candle did look like it, touch VWAP, bounce back up, but you probably would have wanted for a candle of confirmation, and then this candle obviously did not confirm that it was bouncing. Then we notice right here, that it's rejecting off VWAP a lot. Next thing I would have looked for is probably a break above this $1.03 mark. There's a lot of resistance right there. It seemed to keep popping up. And then right here, we notice going into this VWAP again, we notice an increase in volume. It's like a steady staircase. You always want to look for a steady staircase in volume. It usually means you're going up in some way, and usually in a fast way. Whenever a stock halts, there's usually a staircase motion in volume. So always keep your eyes out for that. We notice a steady increase. So I probably would have taken my entry. You could have taken an earlier entry if you thought it was going to break above VWAP, because you do have your MACD curling up, and you do have a steady increase in volume up to this point. So you could have taken an early entry, but proper entry probably would have been like once this candle closed above. So $1, $2, $3, or you could have waited till it broke above this resistance line. Then you would have basically, if you got in at around $1.03 or $1.04, you would have been, somewhere in the profits most of the time. You wouldn't have stopped out if you had a 3% stop. And again, break above VWAP, there's a steady increase. Probably would have held until you were in decent profits. So let's say you got a higher entry, $1.04. Could have held up about 17% if you got tippy top, but it's anywhere from 10 to 15%. Solid gains. Next play I would have been looking for is what you guys would learn with money bags, a beginner entry with this VWAP 14, which I'm not going to spoil anything, but it would have been the break, the beginner strat entry. So you could have done that with the MACD cross. And again, volume is kind of ramping up, but volume's not crazy. It's not, you're still getting a million volume per candle. But a nice break over the 9 EMA ends up running up from the beginner strat, 10-15% again. Then we get to around lunchtime, 11:30. We see it starts to form this pattern. You probably wouldn't have wanted to, you could have traded in here, but want to wait for something that can make you money. And then we notice right here the what am I trying to say? The bullish pennant forming. You could have bought along one of these support lines. That would have been not a bad entry if you got in along like right here, because you could have just stopped out, just 3% down right below. Or my entry probably would have been when I saw this candle right here. See how this this volume candle is like basically triple the size of this one right here. So I probably would have waited for confirmation that it was going up, and it ended up pulling back a little. So I probably would have gotten an entry around here because volume's starting to pick up a bit. MACD's still crossed. And you can see here there is a lot of buying on the candles. Like the long bottoming wicks means a lot of buying. So you probably would have wanted to buy right around here when these green candles made new highs from the previous candles. Or you could have waited until right here when the actual breakout occurred. But you probably would have wanted to get an earlier entry on this stock because it is cheaper. So you don't want to risk, it going up and then knifing back down on you. But if you did that, if you got in around here or on the breakout, that's 6% on the breakout, maybe 9 or 10% on this play right here. This next play that I have circled is kind of a 9 EMA bounce, you could say, or a VWAP 14 bounce. You can see that's holding pretty good there. A lot of buying though, a lot of buying on these wicks. These are pretty even. This has a lot of buying though. This has a lot of buying, and then this candle made a new high from the previous with a lot of buying. So you probably could have tried that because it's also curling against this 9 EMA. So you could have taken an entry right around here, and that would have ran you up 9-10% again. I don't even know how much we're up at this point. Then you probably would have waited a while. Nothing really happened. Came down. Then you notice this touched once, twice, 3 times, and then it popped through. And I circled this because of why did I circle that? Let me check. You could say beginner strat. What else? Volume starting to increase. It's about double the previous candles, about 1 million still. The stock had a lot of volume. Starts to pop up above 9 EMA. That wouldn't be the best entry. I probably would have waited till here. Right here is the break of this resistance line, and we do get at least two candles of confirmation. I probably would have entered around $1.50. And if you entered around $1.50 when you confirm that it's holding above this line, you would have been maybe close to stopping out if you did get in $1.50, but 3% not necessarily stopped out. Hopefully you get a little bit better of an entry than half, 5 cents above the move. Maybe you got or you waited for it to come back to this previous resistance. But if you did that, waited for that breakout right there, or the beginner strat, then you're up 30% or about 25%. Next, we have a double bottom. Proper entry would have been above this line right here, because that is the middle of the W, I would say. Middle of, I don't know what I'm looking for. This W. So you would have wanted to enter above this peak. That would have been proper entry around right here, $1.80. You might have stopped out though. No, only down 2% there. So that's another play you could have made 5, 6, 7% on. Then that's about the end of the day there. But for people not playing the late times in the day, I would say the big plays could have taken this break above VWAP for, I think that was 10%, and then another break above VWAP. And the big thing with the break above VWAP here is, notice this staircase ramping volume leads into this, this big move. And right here too, you see it steadily staircasing up, and then boom, huge. from here steadily staircasing, then it skyrockets. So try and focus on that with the volume. If you see a steady staircase, try and find a good entry. Hopefully I tried to explain as well as I could. Hopefully you guys got something out of that. So DM me any questions if you have any.